I say this as a huge fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but Marvel movies have a problem. A problem with comedy versus emotion. And you can have great comedy and great emotion in a film, so why do Marvel movies often feel like their comedic moments are battling with their emotional ones? A video essayist I'm a huge fan of, Sage Hyden over at Just Right, did a great video talking about this in regards to what Wonder Woman did right by having genuine emotional moments that, in a Marvel movie, likely would have ended with a gag that undercut the emotional response the scene was starting to elicit.
Finally get to be the father I've always wanted to be. Excuse me. Gotta take a whiz.
It's a really great video, I'll link it below. I thought Sage had covered everything I wanted to say, so I didn't bother making a video on this subject. But last week I saw an incredible movie called 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and it instantly blew my mind wide open about what Marvel could be doing to fix their problem with comedy versus emotion. This film, which is a black comedy, is a fantastic example of how to balance hilarious and incredibly emotional content in one movie without having one undercut the other. So I guess my video this week is kind of about why Marvel should start making black comedies. Sort of, not really. You'll see what I mean when we get into it. I'm Christian Pearson, and you're watching Superhero Studies. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri is a film written and directed by Martin McDonagh, who also made In Bruges and 7 Psychopaths. It revolves around a woman named Mildred Hayes, whose daughter was killed in a town where the police have done very little to find out who killed her. Mildred puts up 3 billboards pointing this out, and the movie goes from there. Everything that happens is based off the characters reacting to this one event, which is a fantastic movie structure, by the way, but that's a discussion for another time. Anyway, 3 Billboards is a near masterpiece. For the full duration, I was either laughing hysterically or on the brink of tears. And at no time during this film did any of the jokes take away from the genuine emotional moments. As an aside, my only complaint about this movie was Sam Rockwell's character, who's a racist police officer whose racism is never properly addressed in his character arc. Don't do that, Marvel. Anyway, let's get into how Marvel is often doing their jokes wrong. Why they're damaging emotional scenes in a way that didn't happen in 3 Billboards. Let's look at one of my least favorite undercut moments in the Marvel franchise from Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
What are you gonna do with your share?
As a child, my father would have Gamora and me battle one another in training. Every time my sister prevailed, my father would replace a piece of me with machinery, claiming he wanted me to be her equal. But she won. Again, and again, and again, never once refraining. So after I murder my sister, I will buy a warship with every conceivable instrument of death. I will hunt my father like a dog, and I will tear him apart slowly, piece by piece, until he knows some semblance of the profound and unceasing pain I know every single day.
Yeah. I was talking about like a pretty necklace. Or a nice hat, you know.
I hate that scene. And I hate it because I was loving it. I was really connecting with Nebula for that brief moment before all the emotion is totally shot by that joke. Another less explicit example is in Civil War, when Spider-Man is introduced and his little banter with Iron Man cut in the middle of a scene that should be really emotional.
Thanks. Well, I could have stuck the landing a little better. It's just a new suit. Wait, it's nothing. Mr. Stark, it's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, we don't really need to start a conversation.
Okay. Captain? Big fan of Spider-Man?
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. Just...
Hey, everyone.
Good job.
You've been busy.
And you've been a complete idiot.
See, what Marvel often does with their jokes is they take a serious moment, then try to make us laugh at that moment and the person who's genuinely trying to feel something, as if we shouldn't take these emotions seriously. It's like a stereotypical butch movie dad going, "Be a man, don't be emotional." Or here's a better example. Have you ever been telling a friend something sad or difficult that's really been bothering you and you're genuinely upset about, and then they just laugh at you or crack a joke? Does that feel good? No, of course not, because you were trying to be serious for a moment and they just made you feel stupid for having emotions. That's what these gags in Marvel movies feel like. Like someone is rubbing your face in the idea that it's dumb to have emotions. In contrast, Three Billboards never makes us or tells us to laugh at the genuine emotions characters are having. The comedy stems from the situations and the goofy nature of the characters, but when they are genuinely expressing a deep, intense emotion, we're never told, "Hey, this is dumb, laugh at them." The movie lets the emotional moments be emotional and the comedic moments be comedic. It doesn't make the two elements clash. When they both happen in the same scene, they're never fighting for our attention, they're working together. When they put in a really goofy or zany scene, it's not taking away from anything else.
This reporter, for one, hopes this finally puts an end to the strange saga of the Three Billboards Outside.
Then put an end to shit, you fucking. This is just a fucking start. Why don't you put that on your Good Morning Missouri fucking wake up broadcast?
I really wish I didn't have to bleep out the swear words in that. I'm linking the trailer below. Go check it out. It's a great trailer. Now, I'm not saying Marvel movies never have emotional moments, because they do, and most of their jokes aren't at the expense of their characters. And I don't actually think Marvel should start making exclusively black comedy films, but they should look at great examples of movies like Three Billboards that utilize their comedy to create incredible moments of levity without chopping down the emotional scenes. Don't make us or the characters feel dumb for having emotions, because at the end of the day, we're all going to the movies to feel something. Maybe it's not sadness, as is often the case in Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, but there are other genuinely great examples of movies utilizing comedy without undercutting their emotions. Like Get Out, an incredible horror thriller film from early 2017 that is not only terrifying and unnerving in the best possible way, but is genuinely one of the funniest movies I've seen in years. The big point I'm trying to make here, dumbed down into one sentence, is don't use comedy to belittle emotions. But what do you think? Have you seen Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri? What did you think of the comedy in it versus, say, the comedy in Guardians of the Galaxy 2? Let me know in the comments below. Also, click the subscribe button and the bell to get notified when I release another one of these nerdy rambles each Wednesday. Or follow me on Facebook or like my page on Twitter. Is that how it goes? Might have that backwards. Whatever. I'm Christian Pearson, and you've been watching Superhero Studies.